In today's update, we are covering Ukraine's new security agreements, US sanctions on Russia, Ukrainian strikes in Crimea, battles in Kharkiv, Chinese diplomatic maneuvers, ground attacks in Zaporizhia, and Western condemnation of Russian interference in Moldova. Ukraine signed bilateral 10-year security agreements with the United States and Japan on June 13th. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced these agreements with US President Joe Biden and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida during the ongoing G7 summit. These agreements focus on long-term cooperation in defense, security, economic recovery, and reforms, further advancing Ukraine's Euro-Atlantic integration. Japan committed to a $4.5 billion contribution for Ukraine in 2024 and continued cooperation in various sectors, including humanitarian aid and reconstruction efforts. This marks a significant step in strengthening Ukraine's international relations and defense capabilities. The United States has imposed new sanctions on the Moscow exchange and several significant Russian financial institutions, including major banks and defense manufacturers. Announced on June 12th, these sanctions target over 300 individuals and entities supporting Russia's wartime economy. The UK followed with similar sanctions targeting Russian financial institutions and defense sectors. Despite these measures, the Russian government claims minimal impact, having prepared the financial system to mitigate such sanctions. However, these new restrictions add pressure on Russia's economy amidst the ongoing conflict, complicating international trading and financial operations. Sustained Ukrainian strikes on Russian military targets in occupied Crimea are forcing the Russian military to commit additional air defense assets to the region. Recent strikes have destroyed elements of the S-400 air defense systems, pressuring Russian defenses. This increased Ukrainian activity in Crimea aims to degrade Russian logistical and military capabilities, making the peninsula less tenable for Russian operations. The strategic importance of these strikes highlights the ongoing efforts by Ukraine to reclaim occupied territories and disrupt Russian military operations. Ukrainian forces have recently regained positions north of Kharkiv city amid ongoing Russian offensives. Geolocated footage from June 13th shows Ukrainian counterattacks and successful reclaiming of areas near Khleboka. Despite Russian efforts to fortify their positions, Ukrainian advances continue, with reports of heavy fighting near Vovchansk and other northern regions. Both sides report significant engagements, with Ukraine's counteroffensive putting pressure on Russian forces. This ongoing battle underscores the intense and dynamic nature of the conflict in this key oblast. The People's Republic of China is reportedly using diplomatic channels to convince other countries not to support the upcoming June 15th to 16th Global Peace Summit in Switzerland. This effort includes meetings with foreign officials and leveraging its influence among developing states. China, along with Brazil, has proposed a 6-point peace plan for the conflict involving Ukraine and Russia. Diplomatic sources suggest China's maneuvering aims to shape the summit's agenda and outcomes, emphasizing its significant role in global diplomatic efforts related to the conflict. Russian forces have continued ground attacks near Robotyne, Verbove, and Mala Tokmachka in Zaporizhia Oblast as of June 13th. Despite these efforts, there have been no confirmed changes to the front line. Elements of the Russian 4th Military Base and Southern Military District are reportedly active in the area. Ukrainian defenses remain robust, countering Russian advances and maintaining their positions. The ongoing skirmishes in this region highlight the protracted and contested nature of the conflict, with both sides seeking strategic advantages. The United States, United Kingdom, and Canada released a joint statement on July 13th, condemning Russian subversive activity and electoral interference in Moldova. This statement aligns with assessments of ongoing Kremlin efforts to destabilize Moldovan democracy ahead of the 2024 presidential election and EU membership referendum. The joint declaration underscores the Western allies' commitment to countering Russian influence and supporting democratic institutions in Moldova. This development adds to the broader geopolitical tensions involving Russia's actions in Eastern Europe.